I just think Wusa is a greatly underrated unit. Amazing this match, and the Vertihill with, you know, one counter, got one crit in there, then when he attacked he got another crit, so had to get 4 hits to get 2 crits, but that was enough.
It was a lot. But it was a great showcase, and it's showing us that like the next part of this bracket is going to be so crazy now that all these big players are moving ahead. And also the redemption bracket is looking pretty stacked right now too. West really showing that he has what it takes to move forward in this tournament here, Stark.
Yeah, most definitely. Like we've seen it before, and we know he's a SWC champion, very, very strong player. We showed that he's got crazy rune quality on his units. We saw moments of Changpeng's supposed to be dead, and he refused to go down there, and that just goes to show the kind of quality put into his units. And everybody runed so well. He was able to stay alive and able to come back to his. As I said, it looked grim. He was about to get knocked out and placed into the loser bracket, but you know what? Les held on, man, and he was able to come back from where he was, taking down Peter. Great match, well played from West.
Yeah, what a great start to that last round too there, Seppi.
Yeah, just wanted to add one note to this. People are talking about, the luck of the Chung not dying, the Vertihill countering, but there was one small detail in the beginning of the match where Les showed his experience and his quality in play, which was he got turn 1 with a Chiwu, and he did an AoE. In the first match, his opponent AoE'd with a Chiwu, and because the Heigang was on the other team, that made him lose the match, and that would have been the same. So what he did was he skilled to the Shan to mess up the speed tuning, so the Shan had to go ahead and use it so he would have no control even if the Heigang stripped, and when again guaranteeing that his Wusa had a big chance to resist, because if the Shan was speed tuned and he got the strip with the Heigang, that would have been game. And for me, that was a beautiful call right there. It's not all luck, a lot of skill. It's like a game of poker.
That was the play of the game for sure. A lot of like patience and restraint that ended up pushing him ahead and let him take that tempo after he had to use that third skill control a little early. Here we go. So now TARS has quite the pedigree going on here. SWC 2022 World Finals champion there, Stark.
Yep, that is right. I mean, Taz, last year, he was there. He's our champion. And I'm seeing a unit, Daniel.
AoE Molong.
There's a lot of attack bar pushback obviously being used here. We're seeing the Moore, we're seeing the Saga, and he's looking to push back attack bar and then take advantage of them. I'm expecting things to be extremely well tuned. He's playing a lot of Sekhmet. He's stopping units like Shizuka. He's stopping units like Wusa, and then he's able to capitalize on this and do a ton of work. And Daniel's supposed to be that unit where the attack bars are low. Daniel's able to capitalize on that kind of stuff. So I'm curious if that's going to be a style of play that we'll see tonight. We'll see. Who knows what's going to be happening here. Looking at Lin's draft, I can't help but look at someone and think, oh, this man's living in the past. This will be interesting.
It will be interesting indeed. Will we finally see a Ragdoll right here? Second player that uses Ragdoll a lot, but the first one didn't use it. What do you think about, the Molly nerf that we experienced a little bit of time ago? Did that completely kill the monster, or no, just got it out of the very strong high pick rate meta?
I think Molly's still fine. You just have to be very, very intelligent about what you're going to be placing on. And this goes into artifacts where it's damage taking from, XYZ, because that your Molly's going to be targeted. So that's the biggest thing, because that was the nerf. So it's you can now crit the Molly to produce so much more damage on her, where she was just protecting everybody and herself, making her a very big nuisance on the field here. But she's so much easier to get rid of her directly. Maybe not AoE style, trying to take everybody down at once, but just to deliver the killing blow and get rid of the Molly to remove what she's supposed to do really, really well on the field. But yeah, it's not that I don't think she's viable. She just has a place. And maybe we may see where that place is when Lin potentially takes this unit tonight.
Very, very good point, my friend. I agree 100% with you. And TARS, very versatile player. Maybe we can see a semi-cleave right here with our interesting AoE Molong. We know he has a lot of counter-pick units as well. Does he play turn 1? Does he just wait to see what his opponent's gonna do and then bring on the Tian Lang to counter the Ragdoll? When you know someone has a Tian Lang, do you even want to bring your ragdoll, or are you just like, that's completely off the table?
I mean, Tian Lang's a big hindrance when it comes to that. So if I know someone is a Tian Lang, Ragdoll's not going to be something I'm going to bring right up front. But it could be something potentially brought in as like a last pick where you're like, hey, dude, you're doing a ton of critting out there. Like, I got to drop the Ragdoll, and I've already know I'm banning the Tian Lang, so your draft is going to be working accordingly. So it really depends the outcome in the order of events to where you would potentially, you know, draft the Ragdoll, making sure it's going to be still intact. Because Ragdoll's still a very, very good unit out there, but he's definitely not what he used to be. And it's only because of the units and the changes that have been introduced to the game.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really like your idea. It is a very strong unit still, but in the case of knowing that the opponent has Tian Lang, you wait it out. You see, is this still very relevant? Yes, I can slap the ban on the Tian Lang, and then once again, it's kind of a unit that will make or break the draft. Let's see what we get as pre-bans right here. Are the LD units going to be off the table or some normal elements?
Well, let's find out. So it looks like
Tian Lang is gone.
Yeah, Lin doesn't want to see Lang. Ragdoll could potentially be on this table already, which is a great unit because Taz right now showcasing that he wants to do some AoE cleave style. And if Taz is able to AoE cleave style and he can make all of his matches super fast, hey man, he's got my vote. I want this dude to win it all because we're looking at 2:30 right now a.m. and if we can have some awesome matches from Taz, let's do it. But I mean, hey, Shizuka's not one of those units, but it's a very, very good unit to bring to the field.
Yeah, I love the Shizuka, but interesting pick into Ganymede. Also, Gianna early on, giving his opponent the opportunity to respond with, you know, a lot of counters. We know that Hagen's very strong. We know that Veramos also can come on, but it's a little bit early. I would love to see more damage, more units to counter this Shizuka so he doesn't have to worry with them. What do you love to use against Shizuka, or do you think there's nothing really? The ban option is the best thing against it?
I think Sekhmet still is a great option, but it's really, really tough when the stat of your match, your Sekhmet goes first and then misses everything completely because you might as well just bottom left quit when your Shizuka, when your Sekhmet pulls off a move like that. But I actually have been taking notes from a player named Levert, and I draft a lot of Seimei now when I see Shizuka.
Oh, I love that. And the Jackson coming out, the Fire Monkey making another appearance, very strong into this draft right here. Even when we see more as a water unit, when you play against a Fire Monkey, you get super scared. It's very easy for a Fire Monkey to solo a Moor with a proc, and right now finishing up with a Han, no protection, and then a Vanessa. Speed lead, guaranteeing that he goes first. What are you looking for as, you know, options to ban right here? Are you more afraid of this Jackson, maybe a Vertihill last pick with triple revenge to counter the Etna AoE? What are you expecting on the TARS?
I'm not too sure what I kind of want to see Taz to pick out here, but I definitely was expecting to see something a little bit more aggressive from Lin. I would have loved to see that Fire Galatrix, the Frederica, because she's been becoming a massive menace right now, because we could have actually seen a unit like that turn out to just completely remove Jackson or even Fire Monkey from the field with how much damage that unit's able to put out on the field. The Fire Cassandra, for those who don't know what that is. But I think this is totally fine. We're looking, I mean, it's going to get banned out here, but it was going to add a lot of bruiserness to Taz's team, and I think that's definitely fair to say.
Yeah, the Han is a must ban right there. The rest of the comp, not that strong, and the Jackson getting through, it's kind of a little bit weird for me, because with Jackson through, the attack bar reduction from the Moor and from the Ganymede is not as strong, and you get cut in exactly. So I don't know, I would have loved the ban on this unit. The Cardinal was also a great pick. Any fire unit as a last pick right there would have been amazing, but now you kind of have to get the choice. You have to try to hit this Shizuka very hard, and you got to pray that she doesn't proc.
Yeah, Lin really needs to definitely confirm some serious damage and able to take units out here, because that's really got to happen. Because what's going to happen is Gianna's going to be able to cycle so many turns. The attack bar that Gianna gains from that first skill is increased by 50% due to the Jackson, so that can be really, really impactful. But I will say about Jackson, he's got a second skill that does stun, but to my knowledge doesn't actually do anything at all. So we'll see if maybe Taz has a different Jackson to mind where that second skill does actually do something.
The Ganny played ahead and got the reset. That is huge. He needs to kill this Etna ASAP twice. Can this monkey get it done? And the rock seals the deal. And with that is going to be a mountain to climb right here. Even if you get rid of this Shizuka, this fire monkey, for me, is just unstoppable at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so as well. He really has to give a lot of attention right now to the Ganymede. I think the bombs should be placed onto the water roof for sure, but he has to make sure that this ventilate is going to come out, go onto the Vanessa, of course. Interesting.
Oh, I agree with you. Why? He goes for all or nothing, my friend. He's going to try to cleave with the damage from the Moor, and he gets 2 kills. He went greedy and it worked. Everything is on the monkey's shoulders right now, but he gets a huge proc to get rid of the Ganny. Now, if he hits the death break, the Jackson can kill it. Or does he get a stun? Oh no, he goes for the monkey. Okay,
well, he's going to use the second skill on the defense break for sure. Does it? The second skill would have dealt more damage and removed the Ganymede from the field. That is super confusing as to why he didn't want to do that there.
Oh no, very interesting. But you know what? Unpunished gets the kill. Well, actually, did he even have the passive backup? I mean, not passive, sorry, the revive backup. If the Ganny procs and gets to reset, and gets to reset the monkey, the greediness, letting the Vanessa take the turn, the death break comes in. Oh no, this cost him the match, Stoic.
Yeah, very surprising to see that from Taz. That got very, very greedy there. I wasn't expecting that. Lin, congratulations, great victory there. In my opinion, I think Taz ended that one over.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a misstep there at the end.
He had it on lockdown, a couple greedy plays in there, and the Ganymede taking a lot of punishment, surviving, and showing why it's still a very strong unit. Worked really well against the Shizuka.
You know, I love to see someone like a new face like Lin do really, really well, but I did vote for Taz, and I'm a little upset.
Yeah, same story.
You know what? I voted for less, so I'm okay with it.
So you're doing great. Your bracket is preserved. Mine is falling to pieces. TARS has got to get it together.
100%.
Who did you vote for, chat? We're kind of curious. Tell us who's taking it all in your bracket.
My favorite move was when Lin went for the setup for the skill 2 on Moore. I thought that was like a really cool play. That was a very nice setup from him. I'm glad he got rewarded for that.
You know what? I got to tell you, Evan, I did not approve that, but I was completely wrong. I will say that. I thought it was greedy, but he knew the damage he could output, and he got 2 units off the field. So big shout out, Lin. Great play.
Man, look at these pre-bans. To see Chiwu in the pre-ban section is wild. Like, that's how impactful this this buff is for Chiwu. That it really is. It's a very, very good buff for this unit that he's getting pre-banned now. Very quick drafts. We got a Tian Lang slammed down immediately. And I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan. I really don't like the Tian Lang getting prioritized like that as a first pick.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I do think that it loses a lot of strength when the opponent knows he's playing into it. So I agree with you. Now you just don't pick a Verde Hill, don't bring other stuff, and you have the last pick on top of it to decide if you want to ban the Tian Lang or not. So I love the Wusa, very synergistic with the Ganny. Now, I would love to see kind of a fire unit right here, and then something neutral. Oh, Ganny Thor with the Hagang. The Hagang very strong against the triple strip from the other side. But Ganny Thor, right now, you can slap hard counters to it. The Fire Monkey comes to mind very quickly, even against the Wusa. But if he brings a third water unit, that might become dicey. What do you think, Stoy?
Yeah, I'm almost thinking that he was going to do a Daniel thing here, but I don't know if we're going to see the Daniel thing, all because like Ganny Hathor already getting confirmed. But I mean, it was almost there, and it's not what's coming in anymore though. So I think the Ethna, way better decision here. I'm a big fan of that win, Robo. It looks like he just doesn't want to even let the Ganny Hathor even take a turn here. Had to ban out the Hagang, of course. This is confirmed. Triple Revenge Verd. People ruin multiple of this one, and it is just too obvious that that's exactly what that had to be.
I don't know. Leaving Ganny Thor is very, very dangerous, but I still trust TARS right here. He picked into this, feels comfortable, pray to not get countered right now because he's going AoE. Double glancing! Oh my god. Don't do it again. Just go for the stuns, my friend. Go for the safe choice. Yes, thank you. Okay. No.
Yeah,
yes.
Big stun.
Counter through the stun.
Wow.
God. Get the reset. Don't even risk it. this is the moment. The reset for me right here is on the Hathor. Yes, not on the Wusa because you got the strip from the Robo still. You try to remove this Vertihil from the field. The Death Breaks comes in. Who would you remove first here?
That's got to be the Vertihil. You have to remove that thing before it decides to wake up, potentially do all the wrong to you. This is a well-played draft from Taz. Like, it's night and day compared to that very first match here.
Yeah, very, very well played. Luckily didn't have the problem and played it right with the Etna. Lots of damage, and the Robo came in the clutch, to be honest. If that Robo missed the stun on the bird, we saw that counter pop up, and it would have been bye-bye, my friend.
Yep, that's right. I think what we actually needed to see here was like a swift Wusa, and then just pray that, you know, he doesn't land all of his strips there. And I think that could have been like the only answer to what Taz brought to the field there, because Taz basically said, guys trying to Ganny Hathor him, and he's going to outspeed. And he came in, clearly outspeed, took full control and full advantage over Lin on that match.
Very good point, Stoic. I love that tech. You know, units that you expect to be ruined some way, and then they're another. So, yeah, that would have been amazing to see. Now the question is, does TARS continue to pick in this different manner? And does the Ganithor still come out from the other side?
I mean, Ganny's not a horrible first pick. It's definitely like an older mindset like we've seen in the past before. And it's kind of like what I brought up before, like is Lin living in the past with his first pick on the Ganny. I mean, definitely changing here. We see the Ethna guy really wants his turn one. But of course, Taz showing that he's got a 33 speed lead on the field and a Sekhmet, and he's demanding turn one when he lays down a unit like that.
That's a great pick. I just love the Sekhmet. I think it's very strong still, super high base tech speed. And now the question is, do you bring another turn one unit or a fire unit? He brings a Cardinal, very strong against two of the three units on the field. Now you force the hand of the opponent. Do they pick another speed lead and a second turn one unit? Yup, second turn one. Now we need another speed lead to guarantee that turn.
Yeah, so I really like that he pre-banned that Wusa, because I'm looking at the draft right now, and that's kind of like what Lin needed to bring to the field. But the Wusa pre-ban, it's so ideal that it looks like Lin's just trying to bring aggression, but turn one right now, it's confirmed and is going to Taz. It's just nothing that Lin can do about this. And I think that Chiwu, excellent last pick. Strip, speed lead, glancing coming onto the field. And we may even see just the Dak Robo ban out here, maybe even a Water Ryu banning out the speed lead in general.
I don't know. Maybe the... Oh, yeah. If you ban the Water Ryu is solid, because then the Edna doesn't have a speed lead. Yeah, that's enough. And by the way, shout out to LNSW. Thank you for the raid. Big hug.
Thanks for the
and
raid,
big hug
Alan.
to everyone in chat. Yeah, we still have 4.5K people on YouTube. A lot of love for y'all.
Yep, so that's a 33 speed lead, and we're going to see a very fast Sekhmet, obviously going to be taking turn one here. Reset's got to go out on probably that Dak Robo, and it is going to be the Dak Robo. Does land true. Glancing coming out here with the big strips, of course, and there you have it. Like, we're just not going to see any damage coming out of this Han. Han's going to get attack bar reduction, and it's just like, how do you stop this now? You know what I mean? He used the third skill, get immunity back on himself to help stop the game. I mean, not able to use that third skill. Looking so good for Taz right now. This is the kind of play style that we do expect.
Wait. Resisted, my friend. Did you see that Etna? He can now ventilate the Robo if he likes. The Etna has all skills. Okay, that's what he does. Useless proc. Reminds me of old Ciara with a lot of immunity.
Very awkward.
Can the
Not a lot to
Etna
do.
get this monster down and gets the stuff? Weird to go for the Chiwu, by the way. I thought he was going for the Sekhmet so he wouldn't get the Curse of the Beautiful, but you know what? That's all good.
You can use that skill to get the third skill up sooner onto the Sekhmet. I think that's really big to just keep up with the resets there. Goes right back to the Oliver, which is quite interesting. A little bit of damage getting poked at that Dak Robo, though.
And again, he has the reset right now. I think this match is about to turn, friends. I'm telling you, he gets rid of one. The Ganny has the reset. You can reset the Oliver. Yes, now all skills are back on the Robo, but the glancing, unfortunately, is in there and didn't let him do anything. Can he get one Death Break? So there's a lot of damage coming out from this Han.
Definitely. Not landing the attack break, though, onto the Han, which is kind of big, because obviously not a lot of damage will come out with the glancing. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if... I don't want to call it. Okay, no cast a curse right there. So no additional turn coming out of Shizuka. Big skill 3. This might actually be the turnaround right here.
Yeah, I told you. The Ganny coming in the clutch. First pick, he ran out of the immunity, got free from it. The missed reset again cost so much. He has to bring the Oliver back, but the nerf, no skills. You can't even kill this Han. The Han is gonna deal a ton of damage and removes from the field. The Shizuka is gonna have very salty loss, and TARS falls to the redemption bracket. What a surprise.
Yeah,
My
well done for
predictions.
Lin there. My prediction!
My prediction!
Exactly. I can't help but say it. Like, goes back to that first round where it's like, it just felt such like a throw in that very first match there, and that's really disappointing because you don't want to see, or maybe some people definitely want to see it depending on your prediction, but to see, SWC champion Taz, lose a match like he did in that first round and then such a commanding victory in that second round there. But good on Lin, because to be honest, he played his match in that third round, so I give a lot of credit for Lin for hanging in there where things, did look like, it wasn't looking good for him, looking very good for Taz there, but obviously the resistance comes out there, you're not landing things that you needed to. We're missing out on an attack break that should have landed on the Han to help minimize some of the damage there, the resets on the Ethna that didn't happen there. But yeah, no, it was still a really good match there for Lin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and quite the psychological win too.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting, because this shows other